Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to go over how to source your filament on Alibaba. So I source my filament on Alibaba and I pay close to $10 to $11 landed for my dual and tricolor PLA, also rainbow gradient PLA. You can also source solid color PLA for about $7 to $8 landed, depending on what manufacturer you purchase from. And so in today's video, I'm just going to walk you through a lot of people asking my community how to source filament on Alibaba. So I personally buy from 5 to 6 different manufacturers on Alibaba's platform. And so I'm just going to walk you guys through the steps that I take to contact the suppliers, to find the manufacturers, the payment processes, and sort of some negotiating tips that you can implement when you're negotiating with these suppliers. And so obviously the first step is you need an Alibaba account. You can just go on Alibaba.com, register for an account. And so after you get your account set up, you just fill out your profile. They ask you some questions here. They're nothing too crazy. The one pro tip that I will tell you is that if you have a business EIN, you should apply for the Alibaba tax exempt program if you're in the United States. That basically means that when you're buying filament from manufacturers on Alibaba and you register for a tax exempt business, you're exempt from sales tax. So basically you're not going to be paying sales tax, because then you'll be double charged for sales tax when you're buying it and then when you're selling it. So just register for the sales tax, and that way when you're buying from manufacturers you won't be charged sales tax. And so why is paying a low price for filament so important for 3D printing as a business and for you to make money with 3D printing? If you were to compare somebody who is paying $20 to $25 a roll for PLA versus someone who's paying $10 a roll for PLA, you have a lot more room for pricing your prints compared to somebody who's paying close to double the cost of what you're paying for filament. And so this kind of goes back and ties into the gross margin and understanding how you calculate your gross margin percentage. Another very important factor is if you want to keep your price the same. So kind of take two examples. If you have one person selling a print for 20 bucks and I'm selling a print for 20 bucks, but your cost to make that $20 print is double the cost it takes me to make that print, then I'm obviously going to have, first of all, I'm going to have much bigger margin. So if I have a much bigger margin and I keep my price the same as your price, I can essentially pay more for advertising because I have a bigger margin to eat up that I can spend on advertising costs. Whereas you, because you're paying double for that same object that I'm printing, that we're competing against, you have less room to pay for advertising, PPC campaigns, etc. All right, so here's my screen. I'm on my Alibaba.com. I'm on the Alibaba.com website. And so first step, once you have your account set up and everything, if you want to go through the tax exempt registration and everything, you can do that. So basically, I'm just going to give you an example of one of the brands that I use. So Sunlu is a very big, popular brand that you can just basically search in here in the search bar. So basically, you can just search Sunlu PLA, and you'll see that this search returns a whole bunch of different results here. And so you kind of want to look for the actual brand, and not only in the images, in the titles, but also like the brand name and the company name of the listing. So you see here that this is the Sunlu, no blah, 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 $6.50 to $70.80 per roll. And the company that's selling this is Zhuhao Sunlu Industrials Co. So this is typically a good example to know that this is the actual Sunlu supplier of this PLA. So even when you click into it, right, they have a video of their factories, their production lines of filament and whatnot. And you can also see the other products that they sell, like the Sunlu filament dryer, Sunlu resin, other PLA rolls. They have all these certificates. I don't know how easy it is for somebody like another company to just make like a fake Sunlu official account type of thing. You know, you can kind of tell just by the account, the people here. And then you can also ask them to send you samples of their plastic before you buy in bulk. And you can see that it comes in the traditional, you know, Sunlu branded packaging, the Sunlu rolls, if you buy off their website or off Amazon, they're all pretty similar. So basically, once you do this, you hit this chat now button here. And basically, this will get you in contact directly with somebody over at Sunlu. So you can see that I already have, I talked to Justin over at Sunlu. So if you're interested in Sunlu, Justin is one of the reps that I speak with directly. And Basically, you kind of just, the way I do is I basically go to the chat now button, talk to them and be like, hey, I'm interested in your dual and tricolor silk PLA. Can you send me a catalog of the different colors that you have and the different price points that you're selling this at? So they'll typically give you like a PDF of their catalog. You kind of sort through the catalog. You select what colors you want. So like you can select like 5 different colors of a dual and tricolor silk PLA. If you want different gradients of rainbow PLA, they have that. If you want solid color PLA, they have that. So that's up to you to decide in terms of what type of plastic you want to actually get. And so the other thing is, once you figure that out, you typically want to ask them what your MOQ is. So MOQ stands for minimum order quantity. Some suppliers have this on their website, and on Alibaba, some require you to order at least 50 rolls, 100 rolls. I'm not sure with Sunlu what their MOQ is, but just ask them right away what your MOQ is. Like, if you're a smaller seller, you can say, hey, I'm only interested in ordering 50 or 100 rolls, and they'll be like, yeah, that's fine, no problem. The second thing is you want to determine your shipping speed. So it's typically not economical for you to buy the plastic and pay for air shipping, because air freight is just super expensive with these plastic rolls, being that they're so heavy. So typically you want to do sea shipping, and typically with all the suppliers that I've spoken to, it's typically either a 30-day shipping window or a 30 to 45-day shipping window, or 45 to 60. So obviously the longer lead times for the shipping, the cheaper it will be in total. But obviously the downside is you have to wait a month and a half to 2 months to get the plastic. So that's obviously depending on how you want to structure that. If you're comfortable with paying a little bit more to get the product a little bit quicker, or if you're maybe planning to order ahead of time for Q4, you should probably order now. That way it'll be here by, it's already the end of August, by middle to end of September, and then you can start printing for Q4, and that just will lower the cost that you pay per roll for your plastic. Another thing is the time difference. So obviously the time difference plays a huge role. A lot of these companies are overseas in China, so you're dealing with a 12-hour difference. So typically around 8, 9, 10 p.m. is when you're communicating with these suppliers on the Alibaba platform. I do talk to some of the suppliers off of the Alibaba platform, so you can do that if you want to, if you're comfortable with that. I talk to a few suppliers on WhatsApp, so they have a WhatsApp account and we just chat there. It's easier to communicate rather than going on the Alibaba.com messaging platform. And it's basically just the same thing. You like Justin, for instance, I communicate with him directly on WhatsApp. But if you're not comfortable with doing that, and if they ask you to go off platform, feel free to just be like, no, I'm not comfortable, I want to stay on the platform. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's basically whatever you're comfortable with. So once you establish your MOQ, once you establish how fast you want the shipping to be, so basically what I do is I'll go, Justin, I want 500 rolls of dual color PLA, or actually I want 5 different colors, 100 rolls each, 500 rolls in total. Can you give me a quote? And what you want to do is you want to ask for a DDP quote. So DDP stands for delivered duty paid, which means that the seller, so the person you're buying from, is responsible for all the duties paid. And it's kind of like a door-to-door service where they'll quote you for a DDP rate, and that's the price you pay, and that's the price and you don't pay anything else. You don't pay any duties, you don't pay any forwarders, nothing. So that is the price you'll pay for them to ship it directly to your door. And so I typically always do DDP. You can do other forms of exporting, EXW, all this stuff, but I don't like to work with a forwarder. I'm not familiar with duties and all that stuff. So I tend to shy away from that. So basically you ask them for a DDP price quote, and they will come back to you, and basically they'll give you something like, hey, this is your invoice. So once you are comfortable with the quantity that you want to buy, you typically want to negotiate a cheaper rate, right? They'll give you a quoted price typically, and they'll be like, all right, is this okay? And then you can always negotiate with these suppliers to be like, hey, I talked with another supplier and they quoted me this price for X amount of plastic. And also, the more you buy from a specific supplier, the more likely they're willing to give you a little bit of discounts going forward. If they see you buying 500 to 1,000 rolls, or even in quantities of 100, right, 100 rolls every time, and they see that you're constantly doing business with them, they are more likely to be more lenient with their pricing and give you the best pricing possible, because they want to keep you as a customer. And Filament is a consumable, so they're constantly making new colors. They can constantly make them in quantity and offer them to you at a lower price point. So don't be afraid to negotiate with these suppliers. I do that all the time with, I talk to like 5 or 6 different suppliers, and I'm always asking for cheaper price, especially if I'm ordering close to 1,000 rolls at a time. I'll be like, hey, I've been ordering from you for a while. Is there anything you can do to help me out with the price? And sometimes they will give you, even 50 cents cheaper on 1,000 rolls is close to, I think, $500, right? And even getting your price down from $11 a roll to $10 a roll, $1 difference when you're ordering 1,000 rolls of plastic is $1,000, and that's a lot of money. That's money that you can be saving in your business, and you can be using that to buy other new printers, different software. You can join our community, things like that. So it is very important to always try to negotiate. So once you have the quantity that you want and you're set on the price and you're set on your shipping speed, the next step is going to be payment. So there are a few different ways that you can pay for your order. First, and the easiest and probably the safest way, is to pay directly on Alibaba's payment platform. So basically the manufacturer will send you an invoice on Alibaba's platform, and you can just open the invoice there and pay for the order on Alibaba's platform. The money goes into like an escrow account, and then when you get the product and everything's good, you give Alibaba the okay. Be like, hey, the product I got is up to standard, it's okay, and then they release that money to the seller. So it's a very safe platform. The only downside with it is that you do pay a processing fee. So they do. So the Alibaba processing fee is 2.99% of the total transaction price. And that's what you'll pay if you pay by credit card. Good thing is you can pay by credit card. You can have a 30-day window to pay that off on your end. The other way you can pay is sometimes when you get comfortable with a supplier and you've been ordering them for a while, you can pay off platform. So you can pay directly with a bank wire to their beneficiary bank, right? You can just ask them, hey, do you have a bank wire I can pay you that way? And the whole point of doing that is just to avoid the 3% transaction fee, right? 3% over $10,000 is quite a significant amount, and obviously the more you buy, that 3% kind of adds up. So in any way, if you can sort of save on that fee, you can do so by directly wiring them directly to their bank. Again, that's all up to you. That's a personal preference. And typically what the suppliers will do is they'll ask for a 50% deposit upfront, just so that they can start production on the filament that you want to buy. And then when the goods are ready to be shipped, they'll ask you for the remaining 50%. And then once you pay everything, they ship it out. And then you get it between your 30 to 60-day window, depending on how quickly you do want your filament to arrive. Now, I will say from personal experience that sometimes it's longer than that 30 to 45-day window. Sometimes they use different forwarders. They tell you that it's going to arrive in 30 days, and then they use a different forwarder. It gets stuck in customs, and the forwarder gets messed up. They don't pick up the packages, and there's like 2 weeks delayed with your entire order. So like I ordered 500 rolls of rainbow almost 2 months ago, and I still haven't gotten the shipment. They kept telling me it was going to land at the port on August 20th. It's already August 27th. I messaged them 2 days ago. Now they said it just landed in the port August 25th. So there's a lot of factors with that, and that's why I personally buy from so many different brands and suppliers, because I don't like to just have everything in one basket. That way, if there's unforeseen issues with the company or the forwarder that they use or like the vessel that they ship it on, or at least I have filament coming from all different places, from all different. The last way to pay with payment, I paid some of my suppliers directly through PayPal. Again, PayPal is a very safe way to do transactions as well, but they do take also a fee, a 3.99 or 2.99% transaction fee as well. So it's kind of the same as the Alibaba payment platform. So you might as well just pay through Alibaba, honestly, and just, be completely safe that way. And so yeah, that's kind of my process of how I go about just ordering plastic in general on Alibaba. Again, there's probably like 30, 40 different brands. Any brand that you find on Amazon, you can typically find on Alibaba's platform. So don't be afraid to go on Alibaba and directly from the manufacturers. These filament brands, they're all kind of manufactured the same way overseas. They all kind of use the same type of filament. The raw material is pretty much all the same. So I don't think there's really that much of a difference from ordering from a brand like Sunlu versus another brand like Creality or King Rune or any of these other brands. I think overall the filament's typically the same type of quality. And so I hope you guys found this video helpful. Again, if you're 3D printing and you're trying to make money with 3D printing, you need to get the price of your plastic down to at least under $15. Okay, you can even go on Amazon, and you can go on manufacturers' websites directly and buy and bundle and save. But there is absolutely no reason to be paying more than $15 for rolls of PLA, right? If you need something quick, you're out of color, and you want something in a day or 2 days, right? Amazon is probably your best bet. But for the long run, you want to at least get the average of all your filament costs down to $10 or even under, right? Some members of my community say that they buy dual and tricolor PLA for $10 landed. They get their single color PLA for like $7 to $8. So like these are the guys that everybody's competing against, right? You don't want to be somebody who's paying $20 to $25 a roll for PLA while your competitors are paying half that cost, right? You're just not going to be able to succeed in the business world, and your margins are going to get eaten up. You can't spend enough money on advertising, whereas your competitors can. So it is a very important piece of the business for 3D printing. And so, yeah, if you guys found this video helpful, leave a comment down below if you guys have different experiences with Alibaba, the good, bad, right? I've only had really good experiences on it, except for this one shipment that I told you that it's already been 2 months. I still haven't gotten it, and I paid for, shipping. So like I said, this is my personal experience. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below.